meetings with board numbers that they
Yep.
need to face. How do we have the conversation with them that all of a sudden the board slide is going to change and MQLs maybe aren't prioritized and it's something else?
That's where you need your sales and marketing team. And sometimes a CRO helps in this case if there's one in play. But sales and marketing are not at opposite ends of a seesaw. They're two pillars on a bridge. If you don't have one, you don't have the other, and the whole thing falls apart. The best thing you can do as a marketing leader and as a sales leader is be best friends with your counterpart and agreed on shared metrics. Shared metrics are going to take away the blame game of, well, I gave you a bunch of leads and you didn't convert any of them, or you didn't pay attention to them, or the sales guys didn't make the phone calls. Um, those two teams need to be, I've heard it called smarketing. So
Yeah.
bring them together and align on a singular metric that it's not how many leads can I give you, it's how many leads can we convert together. Like, how can we enable each other to meet this shared goal of marketing metrics? And I've heard that at a couple of conferences and a couple of things like that, that's the new way people are shifting their thinking. Instead of making it an us versus them, it really is cross collaborative, because at the end of the day, unless you have a product led motion and you're doing a lot of self service, it is really hard for marketing to convert all their leads on their own, right? We need sales.
Mhm.
Return, it's really hard to do outbound all day and have sales generate their own pipeline. So if you team up and have joint metrics, that tells a shared story, and it's less of a us versus them mentality that you have to justify in front of a board.
Yeah, I definitely think I see that trend as well. It's just we're all in it together. If we win, we win together. And when times are bad in the last 2 years, we're definitely getting booted out together.
Exactly. Right?
So,
We all
I mean,
rise together, right? And if
yeah,
we're doing our jobs well and we feel good and everybody's making good decisions, like, we're going to get to our results faster. That is the aspect of being a team.
then
So
like, what are some comforting words or comforting analytics that we can have and monitor to kind of like reduce all the tension?
I think the speed part is what people gain comfort from. And I found this in a couple of companies where they had a longer sales cycle. So if you have a longer sales cycle, you probably also have a longer marketing cycle, right? So everything just takes longer. So
Hmm.
what you need to show is kind of the intermediate metrics to get there. Still not MQLs, but if you want to take it back to like traffic coming in versus the pipeline and progression, you can look at the stages of the pipeline, like how much is being pushed out, how much time is between those, and is there a place to have a more marketing hand with sales to do more education, to do more information, to do more sales enablement. A lot of that sales enablement often comes from the marketing team, especially in these small teams that don't have dedicated departments for it. So as you illuminate kind of your customer journey that you're going on, you can kind of see where the trajectory starts to slow down and apply pressure to those points to speed it up. So if you've got a bunch of people that are at the finish line and for some reason they're not going over it, you know that that's where you have to apply pressure. But in general, if your pipeline is going up in numbers and it's just stagnant, or it's just taking long, or it's just in progress, you can illustrate that whole funnel the entire way, or bow tie, or whatever model you're using. Illustrate that whole funnel. Don't take it back to only looking at marketing leads and MQLs.
Hmm.
Make sure you're still telling that whole story. And make sure, if retention is part of it and driving up retention and cross sell and upsell and all of that, make that part of the equation too. Maybe you didn't acquire 3 new customers, but 4 of your best customers are now doubled in
Yeah.
ARR. That's important too. That's why marketing really has to start being a full life cycle and be, I don't want to say be in everyone's business, but
Oh,
be aware
yeah.
of the entire cycle so that you can be involved in the entire cycle and help it along the way.
I was going to say, I think sales and marketing, I mean, go to market as a whole has to be in everybody's business, right?
Yes.
There's always an explosion of tools, but what are some tools I can leverage to help not just myself, but everyone around me work with, I'm not going to work within my marketing funnel anymore, but the whole funnel. It's scary to people, right? It sounds like more work, but
Yeah.
there is probably a tool out there or some tools I think maybe you have to recommend to us right now that can help facilitate that.
I think there's a ton of tools out there. We're in
Yeah.
the we're in the golden age of AI, so everybody is really hyped up on AI right now, which to me, coming through the automation revolution where everybody was hyped up on automation and oh my God,
Mhm.
we're going to automate ourselves out of a job. This is just automation and another go around, right? Everybody's hyped up about AI, but AI can bring some of those tools together. What I am starting to see is platforms that are cross functional and that eliminate other tools. So instead of having multiple tools, like you'll have data enrichment, you'll have insights, you'll have your CRM, you have your marketing automation, you have all in one tools. And I'm not talking about like the Salesforce and the HubSpot. I'm talking about new players that are trying to make it light and easy so that everyone can understand it and get behind it. I demoed one today. I haven't tested it yet, so I'm not comfortable recommending it, but I demoed one today that literally eliminates Insight, ABM, outbound email campaigns, a chatbot, AI enrichment, and basically an enrichment tool like Apollo, all in one platform. So if all the teams that would normally use those tools are all in a singular platform, it's easier to tell that story because everybody can self-serve on their own data. They don't have to ask me for a report. They don't have to ask somebody to run a report, and they can see it all in front of them. The only tool that I have used myself and found really, really helpful in illustrating metrics across the board has been Monday.com. It didn't come about as a CRM and data tool, but it can now be used for that. And it was easy enough that all the team members could get in there and use it. So if you've ever met marketers, we love new tools. But then when you try to sell them to the sales team, they don't always love new tools, right? They're closers. They wanna go as fast as possible, and selling them on new tools can occasionally be really hard. So if it's easy, they'll use it. But Monday did a really good job of helping illustrate everything kind of from start to finish, and it integrated with a lot of platforms, which is the main key of any technology that you're going to use. It has
I
to
was
play
gonna say
nice.
that's like my number one thing.
It has
I
to play
mean,
nice.
even like non-work related, if it integrates with most of my life, I'm like, we're good.
Yes, it has to play nice, or otherwise you're just downloading and uploading CSV files for the rest of your life, and no
Yeah,
one wants to waste time doing that.
cool.
But
Any other solutions? Like if we're looking, expand a funnel, or are there any things on the, we're looping in the digital, like all our spend? Anything you recommend there?
ooh, I've seen a couple of good ones, but it depends on the company because there are some tools that don't play nice with everybody, or they have, oh, this integration is coming, but in the meantime, you have to patch it in and save. There's not
Sure.
a single key for every lock in marketing or in data visualization. It really depends on the company and the structure within it.
Yeah,
Not every case study is the same, and I work with a lot of different companies, so it's hard to say so.
yeah. There is no silver bullet for anything. Even like a lot of the AI tools we're seeing, it's like, man, if I took three, like recently we took a couple demos on a number of different tools, and it's like, I
Yeah,
wish that tool and that tool and that tool were all one platform because it would just make it so much easier
yeah.
just in life because you just have to look all over. But I think that'll always be the case, right? For the
Yeah,
most
and the
part.
hardest thing you can do is to keep looking at technology, see what's new in the marketplace. Like there's always a new toy out there.
Yeah,
You're developing faster than ever, and you might find something that has a really strong use case for your business and for what you're trying to accomplish, and be able to implement it overnight, and then it'll change your world. But we also have to try not to get shiny eyed from all the shiny new toys in the market either. Not
yeah,
everything is going to deliver exactly the way you hope it would, no matter what their marketing and sales team says.
yeah. And we're still gonna have to do the work at the end of the day. Catherine, it's been wonderful talking with you. If you guys need help with any of that, listeners, you can go Catherine or ourselves. We'll put all of your socials on our site. And guys, you as always, you can find us wherever podcasts are found. And thanks.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.